oceanography.
Nice. Why did you want to pick oceanography?
Yeah, so I state ranked geography back in high school. Actually, state rank of second, and I found it really interesting, just water, the geological landscape, and I had a deep interest in like physics and numbers. So I love like that aspect of computating research and combining that with my interest in geography. Yeah.
So what are you planning to do after uni?
Yeah, so I have an internship at the moment at SCISOC. It's a big government organisation, and I'm part of the Coastal Observation Systems program. And yeah, I'm just learning so much. And moving on from here, I'm looking to get a part-time job in the research and analysis component. And yeah, just really supporting the government and CSIRO through my research, definitely.
So here today we're joined with Monica, and would you like to introduce your course?
My name is Monica, and I'm currently studying Bachelor of Science and Arts, majoring in Vision Science.
So why did you pick your major?
I chose my major because initially I was going to study environmental, but then our uni, UNSW, has a thing where you can go to a talk and see like what you're going to study when you choose that major, and I realized it wasn't for me. So then I looked at the list of majors I could choose, and I ended up with Vision Science.
Would you recommend Vision Science to current high school students who are thinking of doing Vision Science?
If you're thinking of doing it, I say you should do it.
So how do you find the learning experience of Vision Science?
For me personally, as someone who didn't do any science in high school, I feel like it's a bit hard, but then you learn all of the content you need to know, but just a bit quickly, so like overall it's fine.
So what are you planning to do after uni with Vision Science?
I would plan on continuing masters so that I can become a clinical optometrist.
Stefan, do you want to tell them what you do?
Sure. So I'm a data scientist, and I am based in the School of Mathematics and Statistics. So data science is a field where you research things like machine learning models and AI to do with model data sets in various fields. So you might have heard of the most obvious examples of things like ChatGPT and image generation and things like that.
Can you walk us through your life and how you got to your position?
Sure. So, when I started my undergraduate, which was in 2009, it was at UNSW as well, and I started my undergraduate in Bachelor's of Advanced Science, and it was based in the School of Physics. My interests were basically something. I was good at maths and I was good at physics, and so I wanted to kind of stay in that area, using mathematics to kind of solve problems in the real world. So when I finished my degree, I did honors in quantum computing, which was very experimental and didn't quite stick with me. I wanted to kind of stay in like numerical, theoretical modeling kind of thing. And it's amazing, it blends everything. It blends mathematics, computer science, domain knowledge. So you're continuously learning from experts in all of these diverse fields.
What would you say to a high school student that's a bit wary about maths and coding, but they're still kind of interested in data science?
Your ability to do maths and coding, it's all on a spectrum. And maths and programming or computer science, these are very diverse fields. Find out what you're good at and pursue that. It might be that, you're not good at sort of like most of the mathematics, but I'm sure you'll find something that interests you.
And what do you do at UNSW?
Like my degree?
Yeah, so I'm in my 4th year studying law and science.
Okay.
And I have a major in psychology. Why did you pick your major in psychology? I've always been interested in like science in high school. I did phys and chem. So then when I was looking at the majors, I was just kind of struggling to pick one. And I know psychology is pretty popular, so I kind of just ran with that one. So what is your favorite thing about doing psychology as a major? I told myself when I was going to start uni, I don't want to go anywhere near anything psychology doesn't really have a lot of maths in it. So yeah, I just like, I know there's a lot of content, so I'm really happy I don't have to do any maths anymore. So that's kind of what drew me in.
What's like a common misconception about psych?
I would say like it's a short process. Like you only have to do like a bachelor's to get like accredited and go into the field. It's actually a lot tougher. Like you have to do a lot more like honors, postgrad, like masters to get accredited. So it's a bit of a long process. You really have to be committed into it. Yeah.
I'm an evolutionary ecologist.
What does that kind of entail?
Evolutionary ecology is about understanding how living things got to be the way they are, essentially, where biodiversity comes from. So it asks really, really fundamental questions about the nature of life, and the ideas that evolutionary biology generates are really central to all of the biological sciences.
Can you explain, can you like walk us through your life and how you got to your position?
Well, I've always been interested in biology ever since I was a child, but I think I got into evolution by just looking at the biodiversity around me, especially small things like insects, and I was just fascinated by the diversity of things that I could find, even locally. But then later on, I got into the ideas by reading some popular science writers, especially Stephen Jay Gould, who introduced me to the really fascinating ideas.
What is your favorite thing about your field?
Discovery. I love exploring biological diversity and just discovering new things, learning about nature.
What is some advice you'd give to a high school student who's thinking about going into this field but is a bit wary about it?
My advice would be follow your interests. Read, explore, get involved in things, find out what you're interested in, and find opportunities to do what you love and what you're interested in. If you love nature, you're interested in nature, there are many opportunities to get involved in that, even at the high school level, but certainly at the undergraduate level. It's possible for students to get involved in research. I have undergraduates in my lab who come to lab meetings and actually participate in research projects. So it's possible to get involved from very early on.
Hi, my name's Angie. I'm in my 4th year studying advanced science with a major in neuroscience and vision science. Why did you pick your course and major? Well, I always knew in high school that I really liked science, but my major specifically, I have really bad eyesight, so I've always gone to the optometrist, and that's why I wanted to learn about vision science. Whereas with neuroscience, I think that it pairs perfectly with the eyes as well, and seeing how the brain and eyes interact. How do you find the learning experience of your majors? I think they're really good because at UNSW we get a sense of both like the clinical practical side of things, but also the theoretical. So our labs, all the experiments we do, they're very applicable to real life situations, whereas the theory is also really interesting to learn too. So, would you recommend your major to any upcoming students? I think if there's any students that are interested in studying science and they're a bit unsure of what they want to do, I think it's very much worth looking into those 2 majors, especially if you're just interested in the human body and you want to specialize in something. What are you planning to do after uni with your majors? Well, after my undergrad, I plan to do a PhD. So then I think I'm going to be in uni for a long time, but my long-term goal is to just do research for the university.
Hi, so my name is Aniko Toth, and I'm a researcher at UNSW in BEADS, which is the School of Biological, Earth and Environmental Sciences.
What made you want to go into research?
So I've always been a very curious person. I wanted to be an explorer when I was a child. I've always been very curious, and I think my curiosity drove me into the sciences as a way to explore and answer questions.
What makes your field of study very so interesting?
So I study, at the moment I'm working on actually quite practical research involving the management and the conservation of ecosystems around the world. The reason that this is so interesting at the moment is because obviously we're in a time now where this is very crucial, and so we're seeing a lot of that work translating into real world actions, real world conservation, and even on sort of the politics front, we're seeing it implemented and used. So the data sets that we create are being taken up by global partners that are interested in providing this data to politicians and stakeholders. So seeing that applied side of the research has been really, really rewarding.